I was watching this Patrice thing, and Patrice for me has always kind of been that dude, and we spoke about this briefly while you were on the show. But Patrice would talk regularly about how he would go to Brazil and get some of the finer women or some of the better, more professional ladies, and it was never an issue with him. He could balance having game with also having sex work. And I feel like you kind of may share some of those ideas, so I want to get your input.
Well, here's the thing. I think you hit the nail on the head when you talk about one. You can't be talking about going to buy some streetwalker. You're talking about an escort. A person who, if they don't verify you, I don't want to fuck with them. If they don't verify you, they don't have a background check, that kind of stuff. You need to be worried about your safety, whether it's vice or whether it's blah, blah, or whether it's your health. But like you said, ultimately, you're paying for an outcome. And a woman who is a higher end escort, they have clients who have something to lose. So these women have something to lose. So all the horror stories that guys worry about get kind of minimized when you're dealing with somebody who knows what they're doing. And number one, number two, the experience is what they're there for. It's like going to Outback to get a steak versus going to the buffet to get a steak versus going to a 5-star steakhouse. They are there to please you. That's their job. They're trained in the GFE, the girlfriend experience. They have a menu of services that they call languages. And like you just said, and like that one young lady said, that she learned how to give a great blowjob by watching porn. These women study pleasure. They study pleasure, and they learn how to actually make repeat clients, because their preference is not to do 30 different dudes. They just want to have the same regular guys that they actually develop a ongoing relationship of sorts with. So I think guys need to start understanding that, when you talk about the amount of time you got to talk to a woman, try to court, and then you end up getting some whack ass, and you just spent 20 hours of your time, plus you just looking at hard dollars, soft dollar costs. These things are pretty well understood the rest of the world wide. So, and today with the state of what's going on right now, younger guys, unless you're in that selection of guys who have access to many women, what are these young guys going to do? It's better to go ahead and learn. I would say, take your $350, go get you an in call and call it a day. Instead of going to the drunk club trying to try to take somebody home for a one-night stand and mess around and come back
with it. She's not groomed. She probably smelled from having drank and danced all night. And she might not be even really present to give you anything good, but somehow people really believe that a drunken hookup or some random person at a club is somehow more rewarding or satisfactory. I'm like, you must have not been out here and done these things for you to say that. I've felt that disappointment so many times, and it's a giant waste of time.
Brother, I actually told a story on my YouTube channel. Yeah, I actually took a high-end escort to a company Christmas function. And I'll tell the story. Maybe when we do another piece of content, I'll tell that story. Okay. But you're talking about, I think everybody has to come from where they know. And most people associate, hiring somebody as somebody that just walking down off the street. I'm more concerned with my safety, my health, and then legally. I mean, down here in Atlanta, about a month ago, a dude got knocked off for $1 million in jewelry. What'd he do? He met a chick at the club, took her back to the hotel, bang, put his stuff in the safe in the hotel. He wakes up in the morning, showers on. He thinks she's in there. Then he realizes that she had got him for all that. So I am all for legalizing it. I'm all for, like, if there was something called the Moonlight Bunny Ranch in Reno, Nevada, and there was a series on HBO. When you start understanding that it's actually more cost effective to do it this way, and then when you start talking about things that you've had and I've had, the average guy is not going to be able to get a threesome. You're not going to be able to negotiate that. And if you do, are you going to be able to get the quality and quantity of woman you want to get? Better to go pay for it. So I wanted to jump in on this because I heard a lot of back and forth going on. Yeah. And I think there are good points on either side. Here in the United States, I'm sure you guys have talked about it, how New York City just quote unquote decriminalized prostitution. The governor, yeah, because what's about to start happening in this economy, this is about to become a more common occurrence. Now, the difference between that is there are going to be people who are professionals and there are going to be people who are bootlegging.
Yes.
I say stick to the professionals. And I'll drop a little piece of knowledge. For people who want to know how to try this out, go to a website called Eros, EROS.com. Almost every major city in the United States has one. And this is where authorized providers go, list themselves. They have to go through a verification process. Photos have to be verified. They got to be verified. And it's better than, you have a better chance of getting the outcome you want than trying to go to Backpage or whatever.
Yeah, he brought up the Backpage. That was crazy. But even Madison, you know, for people who are high income earners or top percents, right? They use those websites with those escorts because it was convenient for them. And it's not like these people are beta males. They're some of the most successful people in society. But for them, they don't have the time. They don't have the willingness to put themselves and expose themselves to any kind of danger. They want something that they can trust. And so there's a sense of security in that. And I think for some guys, they can't understand because they get desired by a woman and they feel fantastic. They can't understand that some things are not for everybody. Right, but just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that it's not great for a segment of the population. So we should have that discussion there.
We should probably do that. We should probably do a show on this because, especially as guys are getting into becoming the better version of themselves, the more valuable you become as a man, the more you have to be cautious of how you move. I'll say this: P.J. Washington, Brittany Renner. You better watch out what's going on because once it's done. You lose in these courts. Move with purpose. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you lose for 18 years, so I definitely agree with you on that.
Thank you, fam. Peace out.
All right, cheers.
Bye.
Yeah, he's definitely correct about what he says. You know, I kind of walked around a lot of people who engaged in that kind of work, who did that kind of stuff, and I think when you see it on the outside as a regular person, you're like, I would never pay for this stuff, but understand it's a convenience thing. And sometimes people go a lot, especially in the red pill community, they glorify being a player. And they just don't acknowledge the time wasted, the money wasted, the energy wasted, and the kind of harm that you bring upon yourself. So you don't have to be for sex work. You don't have to want to engage in it. You don't have to want to do any of it. But understand for some people, it's absolutely necessary. And if you don't acknowledge that, then you're not interested in understanding other people's experience. You don't want to do it because it's not rewarding. Just don't do it. All right? But you don't have to sit there and tell everyone what they need to do. So that's pretty much all I had to say. I feel like this has gone on long enough, so I appreciate you guys coming. And yeah, we'll probably be on YouTube at some point.